When it comes to iconic movie dresses, few are as memorable as the pink satin strapless gown worn by Marilyn Monroe in the 1953 film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. This outfit, immortalized by Monroe's unforgettable performance, also got a miniature version by Barbie. But did the doll manage to capture all the grandeur of the original? Find out after the intro. If you haven't seen Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, you're missing one of the best and funniest films ever made.
It's a tiara.
You do wear it on your head. I just love finding new places to wear diamonds.
The movie follows Lorelei Lee, Monroe, and Dorothy Shaw Russell on a ship voyage to France. Lorelei, a shrewd woman seeking financial security, is engaged to a millionaire, while Dorothy values true love. Though Monroe was not the first to portray Lorelei Lee, the character became almost inseparable from her, shaping public perception of Monroe as a sensual and clever woman who knew how to use her image to her advantage, exactly one of the central themes of this film.
You admit that all you're after is money.
No, I don't. Aren't you funny? Don't you know that a man being rich is like a girl being pretty? You might not marry a girl just because she's pretty, but my goodness, doesn't it help? And if you had a daughter, wouldn't you rather she didn't marry a poor man?
But I was.
You'd want her to have the most wonderful things in the world and to be very happy. Oh, why is it wrong for me to want those things?
Well, I concede that. Say, they told me you were stupid. You don't sound stupid to me.
The performance of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend takes place in a nightclub where Lorelei sings about diamonds as symbols of wealth and love. The song critiques societal pressure on women to adhere to stereotypical standards, valuing expensive jewelry over genuine love. It raises questions about female objectification and the need to challenge gender norms and stereotypes that limit women's autonomy. Sound familiar? Indeed. Lorelei Barbie and Marilyn Monroe herself represent an idealization of femininity and success. It's no wonder that this homage in the form of a doll was presented. The doll was released in 1997 as part of the Hollywood Legends collection, a series of dolls that pay tribute to icons and characters from cinematic history. This collection also included characters like Scarlett O'Hara and Elisa Dolittle. The box is beautiful and quite similar to all collectible Barbie boxes of that era. The front is acetate with a plastic top that displays the name Barb Collectibles, the name used for collectible Barbies at the time. Due to the production time of this doll, the acetate is quite yellowed and brittle. The front features references to film, both at the bottom and in the movie posters next to the doll. On the acetate there is the inscription, Barbie as Marilyn. The back of the box highlights Marilyn Monroe's signature in large print. There are several photos of the artist and a description of the context related to this doll. The scene this doll refers to presents one of the most famous musical numbers in cinematic history. Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend.
There may come a time when a lass needs a lawyer, but diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Monroe's extravagant performance as Lorelei Lee celebrates the opulence and glamour of diamonds while subtly critiquing the obsession with material wealth. According to Trevilla's original sketch, Marilyn Monroe was supposed to wear black gloves with black shoes by Salvatore Ferragamo. However, Travilla decided to change the color of the gloves and shoes to match the dress and even updated the sketch. Both the actress and the doll wear pink gloves and a pair of open black sandals. The box contains a stylized stand for the doll. It bears the inscription identifying the film the doll belongs to. The doll's documentation includes a card for joining the Barbie Collectors Club, a warranty certificate, and a certificate of authenticity, highlighting the originality of the doll. The shoes are black, simple, with standard Barbie heels. They were not worn by the doll but were inside a small bag at the back of the box. The pink satin dress with a huge bow at the waist was designed by William Travilla, a renowned costume designer who worked on several films with the actress. The fabric seems to be of excellent quality satin or silk. The back of the dress has metal snap buttons. The fit of the dress is extremely fine and precisely suits the doll's body, which is essential to capture the essence of the original dress. The dress is light pink. The dress worn by Marilyn Monroe in the film was not as bright, but the studio lights gave the impression of a shocking pink. This is easily explained by the use of glorious Technicolor, a filming process that intensified colors and made the costumes more vibrant on screen. According to Trevilla, he not only had to design the dress but also ensured that he chose the right fabric, considering how Technicolor would affect its final appearance in the film. Before Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Trevilla had designed costumes for Monroe in only two other films, Don't Bother to Knock and Monkey Business. He was well aware of Monroe's preference for clothing that highlighted her figure, which significantly influenced his designs. Initially, Trevilla was tasked with creating a look that showcased a sexier, more exciting, almost naked woman on screen, a look quite different from the iconic pink satin dress. The original costume for Diamond's number included fishnet tights over a nude bodysuit adorned with strategically placed jewels. Trevilla himself described the look as dazzling. However, controversy prevented this look from being adopted. A few years ago, when I had no money for food or rent, a photographer I knew asked me to pose nude for an artistic calendar, Marilyn said in an interview. Monroe said the photographer assured her that no one would recognize her. However, her blonde curls and unmistakable red lipstick became evident in the sultry photos. When the calendar was released in 1952, Monroe's career in Hollywood was already on the rise. Soon she was identified as the nude model, generating negative reactions in conservative 50s America and attracting unwanted attention to the rising star. After the controversy surrounding Monroe's nude photos, studio executives demanded a more conservative but still glamorous design for Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. With only 2 days before filming began, Trevilla started working on Plan B. The chosen color was pink, a striking symbol of hyperfemininity at the time. In the case of the Barb dress, I noticed that in hand the tone is lighter than in promotional photos. I can't say if the dress has faded over time or if the original intent was for it to be lighter. The bottom of the dress has a black lining that conveys a unique sense of quality. It's common for darker fabrics to stain the doll's body over time, but this did not happen with this piece, demonstrating attention to detail and the quality of the material used. Although it was second choice, the pink dress became a pop culture phenomenon, selling for $300,000 at Hollywood memorabilia auction in 2010. Over the years, the pink dress has become a fashion and film icon frequently imitated and parodied, just like Marilyn Monroe's white dress. Celebrities have paid homage to this iconic outfit and song. Some emphasized the obvious allusions to materialism like Madonna did in the 1985 video for Material Girl, while others turned the song into a female empowerment anthem like Megan Thee Stallion and Normani in their song Diamonds. Kylie Jenner dressed as Marilyn Monroe for Halloween 2019. She recreated Monroe's iconic look as part of her celebrations. Thalia wore a replica during a performance of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend in Spain in 1991. Singer Nicole from Pussycat Dolls gave a surprise performance of the song Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend at the Kodak Theater in Hollywood in 2007. The iconic pink dress also appears in the computer game The Sims Superstar, where Marilyn Monroe character wears it. In Gossip Girl, Serena van der Woodsen dreams of Monroe's pink dress in the episode The Princess and the Frog, replicating the iconic dance with her suitors in the series. The dress has also been worn by singers like Ariana Grande, Camila Cabello, and Kylie Minogue in their performances, and even James Franco wore it as a co-host of the 2011 Oscars. The chosen body is the Shani, introduced in 1991. This body was initially developed exclusively for Shani dolls, before being adopted by several Barb dolls, both in the playline and in collector editions. It stands out for its curvier and more voluptuous silhouette compared to the Barbie bodies of the time, with a fuller bust, hips, and slender curvy legs, as well as delicate arms. The body has articulation in the head, shoulders, waist, and legs, forward and backward, along with the famous click joints in the knees. The Barbie superstar face sculpt is painted to resemble Marilyn Monroe. This is not a flaw, as the packaging itself clarifies that it is not an exact representation of Marilyn, but rather Barbie dressed as Marilyn. The makeup is stronger, with a lilac eyeshadow, plenty of blush on the cheeks, and a bold red lipstick. The hair, platinum blonde like Marilyn, is well molded, although it has a generous amount of gel. This was not the only connection between Barbie and this scene. In the 2020 film Birds of Prey, Margot Robbie, who played Barbie in the eponymous film, took on the role of Harley Quinn. In one sequence, Harley Quinn wears a pink outfit similar to Monroe's, while the song plays in the background. In this reimagining Birds of Prey, the iconic pink dress is transformed into a jumpsuit worn by Harley Quinn during an interrogation. Additionally, during the performance of the song I'm Just Ken at the 1960th edition of the Oscars, Ryan Gosling wore a pink suit, an homage to Marilyn Monroe's iconic pink dress. The entire performance paid tribute to the Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend sequence. The scene, in which Marilyn Monroe performs Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, in the film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, significant for various cultural and cinematic reasons. Firstly, it encapsulates Marilyn's iconic persona as a glamorous and seductive woman, yet also intelligent and shrewd. The shocking pink dress, created by William Travilla, not only enhances Marilyn's physical beauty, but also symbolizes the glamour and sophistication she personifies on screen. The collectible Barbie inspired by this scene captures not only the elegance of the dress but also the bold attitude and magnetic presence that Marilyn Monroe brought to the role. Furthermore, the song and choreography of the scene address profound themes about female power and material desire. By singing about how diamonds are a girl's best friend, Marilyn not only celebrates aesthetics and luxury, but also satirizes societal expectations about woman roles. She transforms the dumb blonde stereotype into a figure who exercises control over her own sexuality and seductive power, challenging gender norms and reclaiming her financial and emotional independence. The Barbie dedicated to this scene not only honors Marilyn's iconic performance, but also serves as a lasting symbol of the cultural and social influence of this cinematic moment. The song was considered by the American Film Institute as the 12th most important film song of all time. The dress will always be seen as the pinnacle of glamour. Marilyn once said, "Give a girl the right shoes and she can conquer the world. Well, give her the right doll and she will live forever."